Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of French auction portal Share, and we're going to have a look at an auction by a company called Giraudeau, who are new to us. Looks like they probably just do general auctions, so in this particular auction they have a few musical instruments, about 20 or so, or maybe a little bit over that. This particular auction is ending on the 7th of September, so it's only early August at the moment, so plenty of time. Looks like the buyer's premium is 21%. One thing I found out earlier when trying to do this video and now having to re-record it is that there are some musical instruments on page 5 of this auction, and there are also some musical instruments on page 9. I had originally thought it was just on page 9, so I'm doing it again, and I'm lucky that I was kind of was a bit confused because I saw this hurdy-gurdy but it wasn't at the end, and I was like, oh, I think I might have missed something here. So it's always good to check over these catalogues, because when it's a general auction things aren't necessarily kind of all together. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not, so definitely kind of pay attention to that, otherwise you'll end up like me, missing a load of stuff. But it can be really interesting to see some of these local or kind of general auctions, because they sometimes have really interesting stuff, sometimes they don't. It's a bit of a kind of lottery, but sometimes it's good to step away from the bigger auction, musical instrument auctions, and have a look at some of the smaller ones and see what you can find. So that's enough rambling from me. Just bear in mind this auction is in France, so if you're looking to buy anything and you're not in France, and you need to look at kind of import export fees, all the conditions in shipment, etc, etc. And yeah, without further ado, let's kind of get on and do this properly and see what they have really. So here we have a cavalry trumpet by Galliard and Lozelet, 20 to 30 euros is the estimate here. It's a bit beat up, but interesting nevertheless. We have a wooden flute with metal buttons without a brand. It's fairly interesting. Definitely looks slightly more interesting than your average wooden flute. Now we have a trumpet here, Selma company. Interesting. 50 to 80 euros there. Okay. We've got a student violin. Label says Sarod with 2 bows, 50 to 60 euros there. Doesn't look in terrible condition. Possibly Grandini there, possibly interesting kind of bows. Nothing too crazy, but possibly some interesting bits. Here's a Zither. Concert Mandolin Zither, marked Foman, 30 to 50 euros. We see a lot of these around. They made quite a few of them. Not my favourite instrument, I must admit. Now we have a Hohner accordion here, the Verdi 3, 50 to 80 euros. Decent amount of pictures, a few angles on this auction, and fairly good level. Here's a Soberano accordion, 40 to 60 euros there. Mandolin from Miracle here. Nothing particularly of note on this one. 30 to 50 euros there. 3 musical instruments here. We've got a decorative lyre, mandolin, oh no, bombard. It's actually like 4 instruments here, aren't there? There's another kind of bigger mandolin. Let's see the pictures. I suppose that the lyre is not really an instrument as such. They're not really giving us a lot of information. Oh, here's a picture of the back. I Not really sure that anything is of particular interest there. 40 to 50 euros there. Here's a Zither, Germany or Austria, 1880. It's another one of these kind of Zither type things that seem to be everywhere. 50 to 80 euros. Here's a Mandolin, Neapolitan, Miracle, around 1900 they're saying. 40 to 60 euros. This is pretty standard, nothing too crazy there. Another Mandolin, Raffaele di Santino. So Miracle made one, 40 to 60 euros. Once again, nothing particularly outstanding about that. Here's a Untitled Harp by Edward Light. It's like 1820, 400 to 500 euros. I mean, it may well get a little bit more than that. These seem kind of fairly popular. I'm not a massive fan of the things which came out of the Edward Light workshop, to be honest. Up close, when they kind of come under scrutiny, I don't think they're the finest made instruments. That's probably extremely controversial comment, but I'm not a massive fan. But nevertheless, I think they do sell, and they are interesting. Here's a hurdy-gurdy here by Pierre Tixier, 300 to 400 euros there. It's got a carved lady's head there. Looks like it needs a bit of work, but I've seen ones in worse condition. Here's a Sarod from Afghanistan here. Don't see too many of these. 150 to 200 euros is the estimate. Looks like fairly nice example, although I'm not particularly knowledgeable about this. Now moving on to page number 9, where the other musical instruments are. We have a saxophone in silver metal by E. Boisnier and C. 50 to 60 euros there. We've got a silver plated saxophone by Henri Selma there. 300 to 500 euros. These are always popular, these Selma saxophones. Got a yellow brass saxophone here by Studium Dolnet. 40 to 60 euros. Got a silver plated trumpet made by Antoine Courtois. 40 to 60 euros there. We've got a cornet in copper manufactured by A. Lecomte in Paris. 20 to 30 euros. Flute in silver plated metal by Noblet Paris. 40 to 60 euros. Wooden clarinet by Thibouville in Paris, 10 to 20 euros. Looks like it definitely needs some work, but of an interesting age. Metal trombone by Pelisson Guinot Blanchon, incomplete, so it needs a bit of work there. It's a wooden mandolin with a Fratelli Tassinari label. Needs a fair bit of work. 10 to 20 euros is the estimate. I think that's the maximum value in my opinion. Here's a kind of trade violin, 20 to 30 euros. I mean, it could be worse. Looks in okayish condition, so that estimate is probably about right. Another kind of violin with a Breton label. This bow looks interesting enough, and the violin looks in okayish condition, needs a bit of work, but could be worse, so that's not too bad a lot. 40 to 60 euros, so that's kind of seems okay. Got a small accordion, imperial accordion by Kalber, 20 to 40 euros, so it needs a bit of restoration work, it seems. Then we have a Fratelli Crozio chromatic accordion, also needing a bit of restoration there. And lastly, we have a Cloudy chromatic accordion, once again needing a bit of restoration, but looking kind of fairly interesting in its details. Yeah, so that is basically it. That is the instrument in the Giraudeau auction, which is finishing on the 7th of September. A good lesson in this one, that if you're looking at a general catalogue, have a look at all the pages, because musical instruments might be scattered throughout, and don't do what I did and kind of brush over some. I'm now wondering how many of these catalogues I've kind of gone through, assumed that all the musical instruments were in one place, and missed some interesting ones, so apologies for that. But yeah, curious little auction, a few interesting things. Interesting to see the Edward Light Deitel harp, that was a little bit unexpected, and a few other things, the hurdy-gurdy, and some interesting flutes. So yeah, definitely check out the auction. I'll put a link in the description and see what you think. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao. Many thanks for tuning in to the Musical Instrument Investigator. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, and watch out for the next video coming soon.